I mean,
Well, leading worship with no one in the room has been interesting.
the first week that we did worship not like all together, it was
When you have like all of a sudden like all of like the audience and everything is stripped away, it like really makes you stop and think about like, what am I doing this unto?
it's definitely a lot different, obviously, than people in the room. That's kind of just a given. But I think I wasn't really prepared for what that was gonna do in my heart.
I've had to depend on the Holy Spirit in a whole new way, I think, because it's made me like realize like my need for the Holy Spirit when I'm leading worship. Like,
Because when we're forced to worship in an empty room and it's just me and the Lord, or just me and the Lord and my team, I have to ask myself I have to ask myself this question of who am I really doing this for? Am I doing it for people, or am I doing it for the Lord? The Lord is really like use this to refine my heart. Because if my heart's not refined, I can't lead people.
like leading worship and both like being a part of the worship that's happening within the homes is, I think, a reset almost. Like I've seen it in other people within homes, and I've heard other people just like in their encounters with God, like this reset of like what worship is.
Because I think when we think about worship, it's not just songs being sung. It's an experience that we have with each other, but also with the Lord. More importantly, the Lord.
But I think like one of the biggest things I think, both in my heart as a worship leader, and that I've seen happening is just like this thing of like what moves the Lord's heart, and like what touches His heart.
I think there's the thing of being aware of this is a spiritual reality that we want to move God's heart before we try to minister to anyone, but then actually having to be in a position where we don't have any other option.
What is worship? Worship is discovering God, is discovering, like, worship is like when you are being led into a place of truth, like the Holy Spirit opening your eyes to truth about who God is, and you, from that place, loving and like getting discovered God's beauty, seeing God's beauty, like it creates a love in our hearts. When we know God, we love Him. And I don't think that, like, depending on where you're at, I don't think like location affects that. Like, location doesn't affect, like, our heart posture can be unto worship no matter where we're at. So
when it comes down to it, this building we meet in, these soundboards we use, could one day not all be needed or even be able to do it. And at the end of the day, what really matters, and it's really that His heart and the desire to minister to Him and to make His heart happy by singing to Him will always be there, will never fade.